It sounds like the movie is consistent. They said, and we are back to warn y'all again. The robots are taking jobs, okay? Don't let the robots take the jobs.
Yep.
So howdy, welcome to the Fade to Black podcast. I'm Sunflower B. Rose, and I'm joined by my co-host Imani Johnson. And today we've got our guest Dominic Gause.
Hello.
Yeah, Dominic, would you like to introduce yourself?
My name's Dominic. I'm Sonny's little brother. Here for the show today. Great to meet you guys.
Great to have you, homie. So we are going to be talking about Good Burger, a 1997 film directed by Brian Robbins and written by Dan Schneider, Kevin Koplo, and Heath Seifert.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
The second we open our doors, Good Burger goes in the grinder.
I'm gonna have lunch at Mondo Burger, home with the big booty burger.
I give up. There is no way a guy can watch his own butt.
Hey, there are no clowns. Man, that dog is just hungry.
Dexter, I just want to say that, well, I'm really gonna miss you a lot.
So, how'd it go, homies? Dominic, imagine that you had just watched this movie and you meet a friend at a bar. How would you describe this film to them?
I would say it's a feel-good movie. You know, just a classic comedy. Two guys working out just an average Joe movie. The average Joes versus the bad guys. That's how I would see it. I would correlate it to Dodgeball. I think the aesthetics of Dodgeball and Good Burger are very similar. So, if you've ever seen Dodgeball, I think it's kind of the same storyline. That's how I describe it to a friend.
I love that.
Imani, what about you? Can you tell us a little bit more about like the plot of this film?
Yes. So, you have Keenan, who his name is not Keenan in this movie. It is something else. I apologize.
Dexter.
Apologize to him for that. Dexter thank
Reed.
you. Because in my head, this is Keenan and Kel. And so you have Dexter, and he is driving one day without a license. He's driving his mama's car. He don't got no license or nothing, and he crashes into Sinbad, his teacher, who also has, his name's not Sinbad, but in the movie. But it's the actor Sinbad, and he has to Mr. Wheat. Mm-hmm. Okay, Mr. Wheat, and he has to pay for these damages. So Mr. Wheat don't tell his mama, and he get in trouble. So he ends up getting this job at the Good Burger restaurant, which is just like a local burger chain, featuring his name is His name Kel.
Ed.
Okay. And so where Kel, who is playing a character named Ed, works, and Ed is all about Good Burger. It's very earnest. Like he wants to get you your Good Burger, and he wants you to enjoy it. It's very SpongeBob. But Ed he a little different. He a little different. And Keenan ends up getting a job at Good Burger, and around this time, directly across the street, being built is a new burger restaurant named Mondo Burger, where they make these ridiculously sized burgers. I don't know why you would want to eat this. Like, the patty itself is like 3 inches thick. Like, I'm like, why do I want this much? This is big beef. This is the big beef trying to get to us. I'm like, it's not even healthy. Save your colons, y'all. We don't need to eat that much red meat. That is crazy. Anyway, but it's flashy and new, and it's threatening this little burger joint that everyone always loves. But Ed comes up with his like secret sauce that people go crazy for. And they start like making money, it's like, oh, Good Burger is gonna be safe. But then you got Dexter, aka Keenan, who is like plotting. It's like very like evil capitalist of him, and he's like, Ed, what if I take like 70% profit and you keep your 30%? Because the owner of the restaurant was like, Ed, you'll get like $1 or something for every order we sell with your sauce. And so, you know, like Dexter starts making all this money, just exploiting Ed. Ed is like unknowing, and it's like if he had asked Ed for the money, Ed would probably like give him the money. That's the thing. It's like that's who Ed is. But Mondo Burger is like still a threat because Mondo Burger is like, hey, what you mean this little burger restaurant ain't gonna close? So they start plotting on Good Burger. And at one point, like Keenan and Kel, aka Dexter and Ed, like try to like prove that they putting shit in a burger, and they get caught and they get sent to the mental asylum. Okay, I didn't even remember that part of the movie.
Oh, yes.
I was watching it with Dominic, and he was also like, has this scene always been here? I completely forgot about that scene. But they're like in the mental asylum, and they, you know, eventually they break out. Very like it was giving Woody and Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story when they like have to get out to get back to Andy. And so they get back, you know, to reveal the truth that, hey, like these people out here putting stuff in their burgers, and also they put stuff in our sauce so that y'all would get like crazy diarrhea, and like no one would ever want to eat here again, like because they also got to get back for that too, because it's like you don't want to ruin your reputation. But also I would argue like people still go to Taco Bell, so I think that Good Burger could have bounced back. I think that they could have been okay, but you know, it works out. Dexter is like, I should stop exploiting Ed, especially after his coworker who he liked, I think her name was Monica, played by Shar Jackson, is like,
It's
Monique, thank you. You know, is like, you know, that's bad. And so he's like, damn, you right. And it all kind of works out. And in the end, Sinbad gets Mr. Wheat gets his car hit again. After all that, I was just like, damn, crazy. But it is very feel good, and it's very quirky, and it's ridiculous. It's a good movie.
It is. What are Imani? I heard you say like it's been a while since you've seen this, and so there was some surprising imagery. But like, what's your first impression? What do you remember from the first time that you watched this, and like, what's something that you're like picking up on now that you've seen it again?
It's like the first time I saw it, it's like I didn't really remember the Good Burger skit like in all that. I didn't really remember that, so it was just kind of like seeing it as its own thing, not knowing that it has like already a fandom, I guess. And I thought it was ridiculous. You know, I knew Keenan and Kel because I would watch the Keenan and Kel show. But also I was like, at one point in my life, I was like in an after school program, and this is the movie they would put on like every day. So there was a point in my life where I'm like, I actually don't enjoy this movie anymore because they make us watch it every single day, and I hate it. Which explains my hiatus. So when I came back to this movie, I'm like, I haven't watched this movie since I decided I hated it. I was like, oh, this is actually enjoyable.
Good. I'm glad you came back around.
Yeah.
Dom, what about you?
I feel like it's a good movie. When I was a kid, I always thought it was a good movie. I still think it's a good movie. I just think all kid movies have like subliminals for adults. So like this time around watching it, like I'm catching the subliminals. But
yeah.
Still like an overall same feeling of like a feel good movie, but they were trying to say a lot that I didn't pick up on when I was a kid, but I think watching it this time they were trying to say a lot, you know?
Ooh, like what?
As far as like the GMO, as far as like
oh yes.
just the whole capitalist, the asylum stuff I think was weird, and
Yeah.
the seduction with the girlfriend and trying to the secret sauce, like all of it, and
Yeah.
you know, and just my interpretation of the characters, like how I viewed Ed, and you know how like they review his character, him being this intelligent person at the end, and I don't know, it's a lot of things that you see like as an adult that like as a kid it's all fun and games, and then like you're like, nah, this is pretty fucked up. You know, a lot of different perspectives.
Yeah. For me personally, this has always been one of my favorite movies for some reason. I just love the I'm a dude, he's a dude, she's a dude of it all. I was also a big Kenan and Kel fan, but also a big All That fan. And so the Good Burger sketches were reoccurring. It's always like Ed is sitting at the top of the counter and he just gets customers coming in trying to eat food, and he is always messing up their orders. like one thing that was a part of the trailer that did not make it into the actual film was like somebody coming up and asking him for a good shake, and then he just like grabs their shoulders and just starts shaking them. But a fun fact, y'all, apparently the whole Good Burger sketch actually came from Kel's audition. He was just like doing impressions, and his impression was a dude, quote unquote, character. And so he kind of just like came up with this scenario, and they were like, we like it, book him, make it a show. And on top of that, this is Nickelodeon's only live action spinoff. So they've had like a couple of, like, we got SpongeBob movie, we got like Fairly Odd Parents, but this is the only live action spinoff from a TV show that Nickelodeon has ever had. So this all really just started from Kel's All That audition. And now here we are.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it definitely made me think about All That watching it. Just the dude character and All That. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Dude, yeah. So I just think that whole aesthetic was just a thing back then. Patrick and everything else. We still have those characters in some of our shows, but it was fun. It was different back then, you know?
Yeah. I'm like, also, I think too, rewatching it, I realized that it reminded me a lot of like Friday in a way. Like a kid friendly, more kid friendly version, but like just these two partners, not necessarily in crime, but like just on this adventure against like this bigger thing, and them having to like overcome it. In the end, I don't know. It was there was just like moments where I was like, oh, this is like it's a one of those buddy movies for sure, like about friendship.
Yeah.
But
I was like,
yeah,
friendship in times of capitalism is also what I was
yes.
noting this time around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Well, I'm curious, on our Blackity Black podcast, y'all, do you think that this is a black film? Because I don't know if you know, but Brian Robbins is a white man. And the director of this film, the writers, there's three of them. Dan Schneider, I'm sure you've heard of him before. Kevin Koplo, Heath Seifert, also white men. So, even though our leads are two black men, is this still a black film?
I feel like if the audience is black, then it's a black film. And that could be part of my argument. I just think so. So that being said, I feel like, yeah, it's a black film, you know, because the audience is black.
Yeah, it was definitely something I was thinking about while I was watching it. Because, like, I did know, I'm like, yeah, I know that it's white people that made this movie. This is a Nickelodeon movie. And this wasn't even a Nickelodeon movie where they were like, and this one's for the blacks. Like, I just think that they saw this money and this IP that is Kenan and Kel that had a wide audience. They were like, oh, it's not just the black kids that like Kenan and Kel. Like, the white kids also do, too. And we're going to make this movie. But at the same time, right, I'm like, this is a movie that has like two young black male leads, you know, and it's like they do try to like urbanify them. Like Dexter like has this moment where he's like, yeah, like I got a single mom and I don't know my dad, and you know, we're just trying to make it, and I'm just trying to be a good son. And I was like, okay, you know, but I'm just like, that doesn't disqualify the fact that still I'm like, nah, like they are two black people. This movie has like a hip hoppy sound to it. Sinbad is in the movie, you know, in like a pimp suit that says like black is beautiful. You know, so I'm like,
I was like, the wig is killing me.
The wig is horrible. You know, it's definitely some questionable things, but also I'm like, no, there is something about it that I'm like, this does feel like a black movie, like, and like even watching it, I mean, watching it as a little black kid, I'm like, yeah, this is a black movie.
Yeah.
I would agree. I would put this in the same category as like Color Purple, Dreamgirls, where I'm just like, yes, this is for black people, not by black people, but with black influence, because just because you have black people on set means that they were a part of the making of this. And as we just noted, like the whole thing would not be here without Kel. I'm like, this whole scope of a character of a story is based on him and his own audition. And they do talk about like Keenan and Kel being pivotal in shaping this film. So even though like they're 15 and 16, they are still the main characters. And to me, I also think of this as like a good example of quote unquote casual blackness, because it does just feel like it's just a part of them. It's not necessarily like, even though sure we talked about like the single mom dynamic, but it's really just about these two like kids over summer break trying to raise some money, you know? And like coincidentally, there's an evil corporation trying to like take them out in the process, but it has nothing to do with them being black, which I always think is interesting when we get to like one of those last lines in the film, and it's like Kel talking to Keenan about like, are you sure you don't want to be my friend anymore? Like, is it because I'm black? And he's like, dog, I too am black. Like that's not the thing. But I'm just like, damn, we don't mention this until literally right now, and also like, no, that's not the fucking point. And so I don't know. I feel like sometimes when I hear people talk about like, I'm tired of all these maids and slaves, I think about Good Burger, because I'm like, yeah, why can't we just be two goofy kids trying to save a burger joint, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if black actors, you know, you're automatically going to be black regardless of what character you're playing. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So it's like, even if you're playing a white man or like a dude character, you know what I mean? It's just, you're still going to be a black guy. So, yeah, I think it was cool.
Yeah, you know, the dude of it all also just feels very Californian to me.
Yes.
Like,
Right.
it doesn't even feel race specific. That's just, tubular, gnarly.
Right.
Like the skate culture.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. Rollerblade culture.
Yeah.
Which, you know, interesting enough, another crossover in this world is the burger car, the Good Burger car, is actually like the same car from Wayne's World, and they just like add burgers and like extra neon signs on top of it. So I'm just like, just another connection that brings us into that world.
Yeah.
A question that I have for y'all is, even though this is like a buddy film, I'm like, it does start off with Ed and then we add Keenan into it. So I'm like, is this actually Keenan and Kel's story, or is it Ed's story?
I feel like it's Ed's story. I feel like it's Ed's story, and Keenan is a character who's added into his life, but then it's showing like Ed's character development more than I feel like it does Dexter's, you know.
How does Ed change from beginning to end?
I feel like the way that you're supposed to interpret Ed from the very beginning as this dumbed down character who's chaotic and causing the problems from the very beginning, but then it ends with him saving the day, and then it, like, exposing himself as being this intelligent person and had the idea of how to do it, and this, that, and the third, you know. So I feel like it shows his battles with friendship, but also his confidence within himself and his own intelligence, and how he never really had to prove himself, and when he did, it was like a revealing thing, and the friendship became better. But I think ultimately, like, Ed was the, I don't know, main character in a sense, you know? If that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
Imani, what you thinking?
It was like, at first I was leaning towards like, I think this is a Dexter story, but now I'm like, actually I think that this is like a Keenan and Kel. Like, I think that, or Dexter and Ed, because like I think that like Ed definitely, I think he sets the world that we're in, and like, you know, he's the dude who makes the sauce, like he is the key to everything. But I also feel like it's like I feel like we have both stories, because like both stories are half stories, and then when they're put together we get one. It's like this story of this friendship. So like instead of making a movie where like Dexter, we just watch this dude like take advantage of somebody and then like doesn't really learn, it's like we get to also see the other side of that somebody. Like it's very, we're seeing both sides and how they learn to coexist, learn to be friends. It's very The Odd Couple, like the play, like of these two opposites, even though Ed doesn't really think they're that opposite, but it's a movie about friendship.
Yeah. I also feel like it is an interesting balance, because like you said, Ed does set us up with the whole world. We start off with like him in the shower getting ready, him skating down the street, and then he runs into Keenan, and then that's when we start to get Keenan's story. And I hear the Ed transition, and also I'm just like, it sounds like to me that he was like pretty stationary the whole time. And it's only like when Keenan comes into his life that there's like some drama, but he doesn't even necessarily interpret it as drama. Like, Keenan is trying to like take advantage of him with this 80-20 split. And he only goes back on it when Monica says something. But otherwise, he's just rocking with Ed because Ed rocking with him. And I think by the end, they do become solid homies. And like now this friendship can exist outside of a business deal, quote unquote.
Yeah, because I feel like Dexter like learns to like Ed. Like he's like, oh, actually, like I do like this guy. You don't feel like he ever likes Ed?
I do. I feel like he does like him.
Yeah, I feel like he likes Ed at the end of it. I feel like there's a part where he tolerates him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I feel like he's trying to just tolerate him all the way up to into the end. You know, and trying to get himself out of his pickle.
Suspicious as hell.
Yeah. I think it's very much co-worker to the end, you know?
Yeah.
Even if it is a friendship, it's like the co-worker friendship. Because that's where he's like at the table, he's sitting there, he's like, leave. And then he's like, has the grapes up his nose and all that. He's like, all right, well, I can't get rid of them. So, it's just that. But they're still friends.
Yeah. They're homies now.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we need more friend movies. More
Absolutely.
buddy films.
Yeah, we don't get enough buddy films.
But going back to like the comparison to Friday, I think that's what a buddy film always looks like. It's kind of the head-buttingness, you know? Where you wouldn't even kind of perceive them as friends. Like, are these guys friends? Like, are they cousins or what is this? Are they brothers? And I think that's kind of what this relationship too. It's kind of like a brotherly relationship where they headbutt a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even to the SpongeBob of it all, because this does remind me a lot of SpongeBob, especially Ed just being like very gung-ho fry cook. Except he's a cashier. And then Keenan is like our Squidward type character, but also like Mr. Krabs at the same time, because he's like, how do I get my cash out of this scenario, but also I hate everybody and I don't want to be here.
Yeah. Monica is very Sandy Cheeks. I feel like this is the blueprint for SpongeBob. Like,
Yeah, we got the
it came out 2 years before SpongeBob did.
so they saw it. They saw the vision.
And my hypothesis is also that they got rid of Kenan and Kel to give us Drake and Josh. I'm like, Drake and Josh is white Kenan and Kel, and y'all should have gave Kenan and Kel a longer chance.
I could see that.
Yeah.
But back to the capitalism of it all. I'm curious about Ed Sauce. You know, like he just had this real special, something special to add to the burgers. It's something that he already made for himself, and then he was generous enough to sell it. And I think it was like he was making 10 cents every burger that they sold. And so for at the end of his first day to have made $67 just spoke wonders to the amount
shit
of
flying out the door.
Yeah. And in real life, apparently, it tastes like the secret sauce from In-N-Out. But I'm curious, like, what's in yo sauce? What do we learn from Ed about, like, protecting our goods and our trades, because I think that is also like something that Keenan is trying to like bring into his world is like, hey, yo, you can't be so generous that you just like giving it all away. Like, you got to keep some things close to your chest. You gotta charge. Like, there's money to be made. Even if I am making money off you, just know that you too are worth something.
Yeah, like don't let yourself be exploited. Even though I am also exploiting you. It's for the gag. I don't know. I appreciated like Ed's like just view of the world of like, yeah, this, I'm just here to have a good time and, welcome you to Good Burger. I'm not even making the Good Burger. I'm just selling it. And that's it. Like, if you're my friend, you're my friend. I'm not gonna complicate it. I'm like, hey, Ed's cool. And I enjoyed that quality. So like authenticity to the sauce, I guess.
Yeah. Very much go with the flow. It's just like being aware of the situation but knowing you can't change it almost, or feeling like it wouldn't affect his life for the better for him to try to change it, I guess. He just somebody who doesn't like confrontation. I could just see that. He's just somebody who doesn't like confrontation, was just go with the flow the whole time. And I think he was aware of what was happening from realizing who he is as a person at the end of, okay, he's like able to adjust, perceive situations for what they are. So I think he's not stupid. It's just he didn't care,
Right.
Yeah.
And everybody else does interpret Ed as just like really, really kind. So it's Keenan. It feels like the only one who's coming in just like, idiot, let me get over on you.
Yeah. I'm gonna take advantage.
Right.
Which
I
is
guess that
crazy.
is true as well. Yeah. Do you feel like Kale was genuinely upset or like felt guilty of how he did Ed in the movie? Because I felt like it was real convenient that he was like, oh, no longer the deal, blah, 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 at the end of it, after his car got smashed and all this. I was like, the timing's crazy, but, He was like, here's your money, da-da-da-da, and we don't, the deal's over. I'm like, well, shit, he already made his money, so of course the deal's over now.
I think that was a very, like, I think that's going to be a reoccurring quality of just, like, the friendship of, like, we're still friends, but Dexter really does be doing some shit like that, and you know how.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that again, and then next thing you know, he's doing some other thing. You're like, hey, Dex, what you doing?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the point about like them becoming real friends by the end of it is right. So I think like as soon as he saw that like he didn't need the money no more, and he already talked to Monica about like taking advantage of Ed, then he's like, there's no reason for me to do this. Like, we could just be homies and it's cool.
That's what makes me likable again. I'm not a villain anymore because I learned my lesson. It came full circle.
Yeah.
Do you have any other like lingering curiosities? Like, were you hungry for Good Burger too by the end of this?
No.
No, I feel like as much as I like Good Burger, I feel like it was a good ending. I feel like we get the skits, and that's kind of the best that you can get from it, is making skits or anything like that. But a whole different movie, I don't even know what they could make of it.
There is a sequel. I've never seen it, but there is a Good Burger too, and it has Keenan and Kel in it.
Yeah.
I also have not seen the sequel, but I am so curious to know what it's about, because I do know that they are full-grown adults still working at Good Burger.
In their 40s. So it's like, are y'all okay?
Didn't it come out recently?
Yeah.
It came out in 2023.
Yeah.
It says Dexter Reed and Ed, who I guess don't have a last name, returned to work with his old friend at a fast food restaurant 26 years later after his own business ventures fail. And when a corporate villain, Cat Boswell, attempts to replace human employees with robots, Dex and Ed must save the restaurant.
It sounds like the movie is consistent. They said, and we are back to warn y'all again. The robots are taking jobs, okay? Don't let the robots take the jobs.
Yep.
There are inhumane practices happening within your fast food industries, and we need to pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the Good Burger coming with the message.
And then when you try to whistleblow, it's very hard to do, and there will be repercussions.
There will be repercussions.
There sure will be.
Damn, that's crazy. I will say I've never wanted to eat at Good Burger. I just feel like seeing everybody who works here, I'm like, I don't want to eat here actually. No.
I do want to try it. Would you eat a Mondo burger?
No, hell no. Absolutely fucking not. I'm not eating this big. That burger was disgustingly big. Of course they was putting shit in the meat. I'm like, have you seen it? No, I'm passing.
The dog ain't even want it.
The
You
dog
know?
didn't even want the fucking burger. That's how you know it's nasty. Absolutely.
And that's
nasty.
like, and I feel like that's like them kind of showing you the foreshadow to exposing his character at the end of him being super smart, you know, where he's talking to the dog and everything else too. It's like, wait,
Yes.
you know.
Which is, I'm curious if you think like how he knew that Carmen Electra wasn't for him. As she's just like trying to seduce a 15-year-old. I'm also just like curious, like how grown is this woman? But he seems to have no interest in her because he just cares about his friends. But I'm like, do you think that's just Kel actually being like, no, this is just kind of weird. I don't want to be a part of this. Or was he really just that oblivious to somebody trying to flirt with him?
Like, I think it goes back to what I was saying earlier. I don't think he was oblivious to a lot of the stuff that was happening, you know? I think he knew what was going on, but like you said, he was just saying this is weird because he wasn't oblivious. He's like, this girl is acting unnormal. I want to play golf with my friends. Why does she want to do this? Go here and do that. Like, no, something's off, you know?
Predatory. Yeah, I definitely think it was one of those, like, this is supposed to be a joke, wink, wink. It's the 90s. And so it's like, of course, a teenage boy would want to run off with this seemingly grown-ass woman and do whatever. And isn't it funny that Kel doesn't want to do that? But also, I'm like, I feel like if I put my kufi on, I'm like, nah, Kel knew that this woman was a predator and was not falling for it at all. He's like, I'm trying to be here with my friends, and you grown-ass lady is doing the most. Okay? My parents don't play that back at home. But yeah, I'm like, you know, I love that Kel is never a bad role model, you know. He's like, no, pure at heart.
Yeah.
He sure is. Which even going back to that psych ward scene, you know, like everybody in here is scaring the heck out of Keenan. Or Dexter. And then you got Kel, who's just like, these are all just homies, you know? Like, he meets Homegirl from Freaks and Geeks, which apparently this was like her breakout role.
Yes. I was
then
also like, where is she? When I saw her name pop up in the credits, I was like, oh, where is she going to appear at in this movie? And, you know, and then it's, the mental asylum.
Yes. And then you just get like big buff dude he's just like, oh my gosh, homie, why don't you help us escape?
Yes.
I don't remember if I had a point in introducing this idea, but we get a musical number, and I love a musical number in a movie and a TV
and it's
episode.
very like, it's, you know, it feels like a parody of like one Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Feels like a parody of that. So again, it's like, you know, thinking about children's programming and how like writers infuse it with things for adults. It's like an adult of that time, you know, would be watching this like, oh, not Hugh Jackman. What's his name? Jack Nicholson. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. But yeah, I was like, there was the whole dance number lightened it up. And it also, like, this movie is very like Nickelodeon. Like, I feel like the Nickelodeon shows of like this time period like just have this specific look to them. There's a specific comedy to them, like, as absurd, like, you know, it gets so absurd at times, And it's so like kid led. Like I did look it up, and it was like I think Keenan and Kel, they were like 18, 19 when this movie came out. So I mean they're adults, but it's like this is purely geared towards kids. And it's like the kids are the ones who do everything. They're the ones who fight the bad guy. They're the ones who like we care about. And of course, like there are adults in this film, and it's like the adults are, the villains in a way, but also not, because it's like they work with Dan Schneider, who is allegedly a villain, and that's supposed to be a homie, so it's not like all adults are bad, but it's I'm like, I feel like kids, young people don't get a lot of media today that's like purely geared towards their entertainment, and I'm like, so when I watch it, I'm like, it's very nostalgic.
Yeah. And
even
go ahead.
So I was gonna say, one of the things that you said when you said the adults are villains, one thing looking back on it, it was like, as a kid, Mr. Wheat was always a villain to me. Like, he was like, I was like, he's the teacher,
Yes.
he's the bad guy. But watching it this time, I'm like, what did Mr. Wheat do? Like,
Not
he
a
tried to
damn
get him
thing.
off the hook.
Well,
you know
hold
what I
on,
mean?
because actually I was going to say Mr. Wheat really fucked me up when Keenan does like wreck his car the first time. And he's like, young man, I'm about to call the cops. I'm about to get you arrested. You are going to jail today. And I said, black man, you looking at this young black man in your class. I was like, you are his teacher.
You know who he
You
is.
know him. And you said, I will call the cops immediately. And
That's where I'm like, a white man wrote this script. Like,
hello?
but at
you
the
don't-
same time, he's like wearing this like pimp suit. Like he got the big giant like collar, but it's like a patchwork, and like that's when like he got like unity. Black is beautiful. Like it's like, what is this?
And
outfit?
again, this damn wig, this
This
damn
curly
70s
ass afro. It's not-
like for what?
But the next line is like, he's like, I don't want to send a black brother to jail. He says that. He says something along
That's
those
where the black
lines.
people were
He's
like-
He says that. He says that as a way of being like, run me my coin. Like I don't want to send you to jail, so give me money now, so I don't do it. Like,
okay.
sir, I was like, he's the reason the whole film goes. I was like, without Sinbad being terrible, he could have just let it go. He could have just called his parents. Just let that be that. And
Dexter
maybe he
was
did
like,
try.
don't tell my mom. Don't tell. I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
So now we keeping secrets. We keeping secrets from people's parents, and you were just like indebting this child to you for thousands of dollars.
Because you know him. So it's like, it's not like you can avoid me because I'm going to see you in class. Where's my money? So it's like, yeah, sure. Go ahead. Give me my money. Fix my car. I'm going to see. I know where you live. I'm going to see you. I know who you are.
Yeah.
But also, good luck, Mr. Wheat, in fixing your own car, because it sounds like you are accident prone, and it has nothing to do with the rest of us, and we can't all pay for your mistakes.
I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but he can see Mondo Burger. I'm like, if anything, I'm like, you just found yourself in a lawsuit, Mr. Wheat. Like, you can sue the hell out. I'm sure this is a chain, and there are other Mondo Burgers, other places. The people who own Mondo Burger, like, you got a lawsuit on your hands. So you should be okay.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. I really like how they filmed that when the Mondo burgers are exploding. I like how they shot that.
That shit was
looks really
crazy.
nice. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. And I feel like that was too, like, again, like a very Nickelodeon, like, prop heavy, like, practical gag. Like, we're really gonna make some shit explode on this stage. We the people who be dumping slime and shit on people. So we gonna make this shit absurd and crazy. Who doesn't love explosions? Like, again, this is made for kids. So I'm gonna keep it whimsical. I'm gonna put a science experiment in here. Make shit fizzle and sizz.
I was like, and I feel like even though some of it you can see is just like fake. Like when I think of Kel pouring in the the poison, and I'm
milkshake?
just like,
Oh.
this is clearly some like foam that is just like being ground up. They did say that there was still a lot of meat on set, and so they said this smelled beefy as hell the whole time.
I think about Kel and his in the milkshake machine, like in there spinning around.
That's a good one.
I'm just like, yeah, this is some shit that they would have did on All That. Like, you know, I like the little parts that are still very like there's something very All That about this. Yeah, just
And the judge from All That, like she has a role in there as well as one of the customers. There's like a few actors in there from All That in there as well. And the other guy, the white boy in the movie, who's the employee too.
yes.
Yes.
He was also on All That. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like again,
name?
so it's like kid centric entertainment. It's like if I'm a fan of All That, if I'm a Nickelodeon kid, I'm like going to the theater to see this movie that is going to have a bunch of people that I recognize. You know, a lot of the stuff I like to see in the show, I'm going to see in this movie. I'm just like, wow, kids had it great. Look at that.
They sure did. Reasons why we thought that we could do anything and everything, because TV told me. Dan Schneider made me believe. And then I learned that Dan Schneider should not be around children.
Yes.
Yeah. Very much so.
Well,
but shout out to Keenan and shout out to Kel. You know, Kel he was in like a bunch of episodes of Southside because he's from Chicago. And like in Southside, it's like all the celebrities that they have are from Chicago. And you know, Keenan's still going strong on SNL. The
Sure
times
is.
I do watch SNL, I'm also always happy to see Keenan in a skit. He's been doing some weird skits lately. Like he's been playing some weird, freaky characters.
Like weird good or weird bad?
Like it's funny, but it's also like I didn't see you being this character, I guess.
Yeah.
give me one, because I'm like, I really love Keenan on SNL. He running Black Jeopardy. He's got
no, he hasn't done Black Jeopardy in a while. Like there's like one where they're like I think it's like they're doing a Secret Santa or like a gift exchange or whatever. Or like they're having an HR meeting. So it's like a work skit and they're having an HR meeting, and one of the employees, I guess, got in trouble because he said something like maybe inappropriate, but it's like it was very like minorly inappropriate maybe. And Keenan is a character in there, and he be saying some crazy shit like, yeah, you got nice titties. And they're all like, hey, yo. He's so funny. Like, he's just playing like a freaky ass like character. Yeah, so like it's been like things like that where it's just like, oh, Keenan, you really switching it up.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. So,
I was like, and doesn't he have like a new show, a new sitcom too, where he's supposed to be a single father with two children?
Did it. I think it got canceled a while ago. I think
really?
one season. Yeah. So, but it's like, yeah, shout out to Keenan. I think he's hilarious. I think he's very funny.
He sure is.
And they fell out as friends, didn't they? For the most part.
I don't know, because like now they say like there's, you know, they made that Good Burger 2 together, and they're like, nah, we're still friends. We're just grown adult men with lives, I guess. You know, just one of those things where I have my life, he has his life, and we can't meet up. But
Well, that's good to know.
It sounded like they was always homies, but also I did feel like I heard something about like Kel having like a drug problem for a little bit too. But
seems to be doing well. I know there was
fine now.
A few years ago, like Kiki Palmer had Keenan on her podcast, and he, you know, she was just asking him about like Nickelodeon and, you know, Keenan and Kel, and he was just like, yeah, I always thought that Kel was like funnier. Like I thought he was like the better comedic actor, and just like about how black like Keenan and Kel was allowed to be, like when in the TV show, like in his room he had like Naughty by Nature and like Julio and stuff, and like, you know, like very, you know, this was a black person's room. This wasn't whitewashed, and he was just like, yeah, it was just like the people who were in charge there just really let us be and let people make what they wanted to make. But I'm like, I'm glad to see him still going strong.
Yeah.
I just looked it up. Apparently, Kel was also a youth pastor for a little bit. Yep, in 2019 he became the youth pastor at Spirit Food Christian Center in Winteca, LA.
Okay.
I'm like, that's where he was at for a little bit, you know.
I was like, he was in like season 3 maybe of Southside. It's like the last season. He might have been in the second season as well, and he plays himself.
Which makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah, he has a Kel Mitchell like golf charity game or something.
They're probably both really cool in real life for sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
People I would definitely get drinks
Kevin
with.
Hart. Keenan and Kevin Hart. They always do that end of the year show where they like review moments together, and it is funny. I'm like, they go back and forth very well with each other.
Yeah.
And I do think Keenan is funnier than Kevin.
Yeah, Keenan be cracking.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
And Kevin cracking himself up.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, any last thoughts, standout moments for you from Good Burger?
I would just say, I think one thing that stands out is like, don't call somebody a friend or a bro or anything like that if you don't mean it. Because that one moment where he's like, yeah, you're my homie. And he's like, do you mean it? And it's like, yeah, I mean it. I mean, why not? But it just means so much to him versus the other person. You know what I mean? So it's like, just value your friends and don't use it lightly, you know? If somebody's not your friend, don't say that they are, because people don't take that lightly, you know?
Yeah. I like definitely value of friendship and like friendship over money, like friendship being the most valuable thing in this movie. I'm like, yeah, you know, shout out.
Yeah, shout out to homies being homies, and also just like wacky buddy films for Black people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ideally written by Black people.
Ideally, you know.
But
And
like,
it's
you know,
2025 now, so it's like, all right.
I was like, they was cooking with this one though.
It was.
Yeah, for sure.
For
sure.
All right. Well, Dominic, do you have anything that you want to plug? Any shout outs that you want to give here?
If you want to, follow me on Instagram. I'm an artist, make clothes, paint, all that fun stuff. Instagram is Smod, SMOD. Appreciate you guys, and, you know, thank you to Sunny and the team for having us on here. So, thank you.
Of course. Glad to have you. Imani, anything you want to plug while we got the time?
You know, follow us at the Fade to Black podcast on Instagram and tell us what you thought about this episode. You know, rate our podcast, leave us comments. That's always very useful, very helpful, and you know, we'll be back.
Yeah. See y'all next time. Thanks.
Thanks to you.